Our goal is always to keep patients close to home whenever possible for care. But we want to make sure that care is WVU medicine level care. If we can do that, that's a huge win-win for everyone.
Having West Virginia University as an arm of WVU medicine really allows us to be, ahead of the field. We're going to be nationally recognized because we have the best and we have the brightest, and we're going to continue to bring that to the community hospitals that we work with.
The connection of the university to Camden, Clark, and Parkersburg in general, this is a key part of the state, a major population center for the state. And so increasingly, especially through our signature programs, things like the Heart and Vascular Institute, Women's and Children's Hospital, the neurosciences and cancer, we're going to increasingly link that up between the University of Morgantown and Parkersburg, so you'll start to see significant amounts of physician recruitment to this area, tying back to those treatment protocols. Let's look at cancer, for example. As we tie the Cancer Institute here in Parkersburg with WVU, you now have patients in this valley that have access to the exact same clinical trials, subspecialized pathology, radiology, and tumor boards that you would have in Morgantown as well. So our long-term goal is that this really feels like a branch campus of the academic medical center. And you can come here and feel that you get the exact same level of care.
For institutions to be part of a bigger system so that you have the advantages that the bigger system can bring to you while still maintaining your identity. Because, no matter what, this is still Camden Clark Medical Center and it still provides services to this community, but having WVU medicine behind you and as part of that is just the perfect partnership.
We recently announced the approval and plan for a new women's and children's hospital, and we want this to be one-stop shopping, which allows us to not only recruit the best and the brightest physicians, but to give them all the tools they need to maximize efficiency.
I'm born and raised in West Virginia, and statistically I understand, when we talk about we have high rates of obesity or diabetes or heart disease, I see that, and I understand it because I've always lived here. And culturally, we're very family oriented in the state of West Virginia, but sometimes that family orientation is surrounded by food and what we cook and how we cook it and how we eat, and our challenges that we face in trying to sort of change those patterns and how we do things. So I think just understanding West Virginia and understanding the sort of the cultural part of it really helps us think about what is the right way to deal with some of the issues in West Virginia.
Camden Clark has announced its own expansion and growth plans, with the groundbreaking just days ago on their newest medical office building in partnership with Parkersburg Cardiology Associates and the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, which will house the award-winning cardiac care team and heart rehabilitation services. The 28,000 square foot state-of-the-art cardiac care facility will be 2 stories, include 25 exam rooms, a congestive heart failure clinic, cardiac rehabilitation, and a fully equipped outpatient testing suite, all under one roof.
When you get cardiac services, you want to be able to get it in the same location. Walk through the door, your doctor is there, all of the different tests that you might have to have, whether that's an EKG or you have to have a cardiac stress test, or you need cardiac rehab, which would be on the 2nd floor. So everything is really put in place to make it easier for the patient. It's a very patient-centered building.
And Camden Clark Medical Center was recently recognized by U.S. News and World Report for medical excellence in cardiac care, a distinction that only Camden Clark received among hospitals in the Mid-Ohio Valley.
We're in a very changing landscape in healthcare right now, and WVU Medicine's in a great growth mode, and there are folks that get excited about that, there are folks that get nervous. And Dr. Gordon Gee, our university president and the chair of our board of directors, has a great saying. He says, if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. And I always enjoy hearing him say that. Our job as we do our statewide mission and we reach out and we integrate with other hospitals is actually not to drive care to Morgantown. Certain higher levels of care needed to be done in Morgantown, but you know what? We're already full all the time there. A lot of what we're trying to do is decompress and keep patients in their local communities. All of the hospitals that are affiliated with WVU Medicine or join WVU Medicine, the amount of care in their communities and the amount of patients that receive care in their communities always go up, and the number of jobs in local communities always go up. And so our goal is to provide care close to home. And in a rural state, that's a must.
I like to think about it as the hub and the spoke. The spokes are the primary care, the specialists that are out there that work in this community and provide services not just in Wood County, but in the surrounding area. And so, the spokes bring into the hub the care that's needed for the patients that can't be provided in the community setting. And so, this hospital is so important because they do have top services. They have great physicians. They have wonderful employees. And all of those together make up the team that make Camden Clark Medical Center, part of WVU Medicine, the hospital of choice.